Coming up next, it's the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Television. We discuss the weekend review, a new segment or a returning segment called Versus, and it's Be the Booker for this Sunday's TNA Wrestling pay-per-view. The Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Television starts right now.
And now, celebrating 13 years on the air, this is the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime with David Hero, Frank Cosentino, Linda Kay, the man they call Meathead, and Damian Nelson. All the latest from World Wrestling Entertainment, total nonstop action wrestling, and more. This is the Pro Wrestling Report Prime Time.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report Prime Time for Friday, November 5th, 2010. Damian Nelson here sitting alongside David Octavius, the Tiberius, the hero.
The greatest American hero.
You got a lot of play out of that, didn't you? Special Halloween episode last weekend.
Absolutely.
Then you were out traveling the town in your little costume there, trying to fly all over the place.
I was
People
flying.
were saying, who could it be? And your answer was?
Ralph Hinckley.
What he should have said was, believe it or not, it's just me. Because, that's how the theme song went.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe if you educated people better about the show, they would relate to it a little
The show was
easier.
almost 30 years ago. Most of those people weren't even born.
Well, we got a lot in store for you tonight. So first, let's talk about the week that was in professional wrestling. And David, I think we should start with WWE Raw this past Monday night. Pee Wee Herman was the guest host. I know you are, but what am I?
Wow.
Did you ever see the movies Playhouse and Big
I
Adventure?
saw all of them.
Or was it Big Adventure and Return of something?
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Is it Big Mama?
No, not Big Mama. That was
Martin. Ah, yes. No.
How
was
can you confuse Pee Wee Herman and Martin
The
Lawrence?
truck driving lady. I thought her name was Big Mama.
Oh, I remember
or
that.
something like that. They'll correct you.
No, they'll correct you.
Pee Wee, the guest host on Raw this past Monday night. The Miz made him a star, obviously, again.
Whoa,
and then
wait a
the
minute.
Big Show revealed as Pee Wee's cousin.
I think Pee Wee helped elevate The Miz.
Please explain.
Well,
Or I'm sorry, I should get a top. Just start it up when you
we used to have a
Get
little
up,
hamster wheel, but that guy's,
got his own segment. now.
yeah. Here's the thing,
Hash mark early.
okay? Of all the people they could send out to interact with Pee Wee Herman, who's the one guy that they wanted to get the best crowd reaction from?
Well, the guy who would naturally get the
The
best crowd
Miz.
reaction.
That's why they sent The Miz out there. Because they knew Pee Wee could make him a bigger heel, because Pee Wee was so popular.
Was so popular.
Yeah, he looks old. There's a lot of makeup on that face.
He ages as well as Casey Kasem.
Yeah, but Casey Kasem is still allowed in most major movie theaters.
I think Pee Wee's allowed in movie theaters. It's just movie theaters skewed to a certain age. Maybe he may not be able to get. And how long ago was that? Really, you're hanging on that? Really?
I'm not hanging on nothing.
Neither was he.
Buttering popcorn.
Pee Wee Herman did bring us Lita back to WWE
Yes.
TV.
How
You know, in a lot of movie theaters, you have to buy salt now. They got this gimmick with this little flavored popcorn
he brings
flavor
his
and
own.
crap.
Yeah. But Lita, how amazing did she look?
She looked great. She
Yes.
looked dang good. How long's it been? It's been a number of years
Well,
since we saw Lita.
how
on
funny
WWE.
is it that a week or two after Matt Hardy's gone, Lita comes back?
Is there, what do they call it, heat there?
I don't know. I'm sure they don't, exchange Christmas cards or Easter eggs anymore.
How about her and Edge?
Well, I doubt that goes on. Edge is married to Val Venus' sister.
Now, Venus, who is back with
He's-
World Wrestling
yes, he
Entertainment.
is a
Now, if
backstage
you read
agent.
all the news out there, it appears as if he's going to be on Raw Monday night this past. I didn't see him.
No, he's an agent. He's a backstage guy. He works with the promos.
Hmm.
I'm happy Val Venus is back. Extremely talented guy. Super great guy. And you know what? He was part of the Attitude Era where getting over was a challenge at times because there were so many great stars.
And you could hear Sean Morley, Val Venus, in a recent interview we conducted with him at pwrshow.com in the interview section on demand. Lita, not even really mentioned by the WWE broadcast team that she was even there after it happened. It was almost like it just didn't make much sense. I guess why make a big deal out of it if it's just a one-time deal, but Lita was a pretty big star.
She was a huge star. Her and the Hardy Boys, come on. And then with Edge, you got to wonder what she's thinking when she sees all of these Divas Search Divas, now wrestlers, and all the dues she had to pay to get to where she was.
The dues?
Yeah, where she like wrestled all over the world and Mexico and the Indies and all that good kind of stuff.
I wonder if you can, you probably can't answer this, but can you tell me what Lita has in common with Kane Hodder, who is the guy who played Jason in Friday the 13th parts 6, 7, 8, 9, and Jason X, I believe?
I have no clue.
They both have a tattoo on the inside of the lower leg that says kill.
She has that?
She has a tattoo, I believe it says kill.
Huh.
Think of the pain.
It's rather disturbing,
She's got a high threshold.
I guess. But why there? I mean, really?
Where should she have gotten it?
Well, listen, if I'm dating Lita and she pulls back that lip and I see kill,
This one.
yeah, I'm not touching her.
Looks like
What
we're
does
going
that
to
say
see.
about the teeth?
Looks like we're going to see a matchup between John Morrison and Sheamus coming up soon. They continued that whole thing where John Morrison getting involved in Sheamus's matchups.
It's disturbing because it's now Sheamus is being pulled back a little bit, which tells me Triple H isn't coming back as soon as we had thought he was.
Triple H was on Raw Monday night. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and he was also at the Fan Appreciation Show, but they're not keeping Sheamus elevated for Triple H to come back. They're bringing him down a notch or two to work with John Morrison, to try to get John Morrison over.
Isn't it mutually beneficial?
No, how does it help? How does it help Sheamus to go down 2 pegs on the card to work with John Morrison?
Does the viewing audience see it as going down 2 pegs on the card, though?
I don't know.
Do you see it going down as 2 pegs on the card?
It is. He's taking a few
I was
steps
waiting for him
back.
to answer.
Wow.
I like it. I mean,
Well, yeah, because you like John Morrison. You guys have, partied together. WrestleMania. Parties together.
it is rare that WWE invests a couple of weeks into a feud at that level of the card.
Because
Well,
they
they've done so.
need some new baby faces.
Cody Rhodes is a babyface now.
Wow.
You watch NXT on Tuesday? Oh, by the way, did you watch NXT on Tuesday? That's next on the list, so if you want to just go ahead and start figuring out how you're going to get out of this one in your head.
It's okay.
Right ahead.
I already figured it out. I'm ready.
Sure you did.
Uh-huh.
The McMahons, Vince and Stephanie, return on Raw this past Monday night with on-screen appearance by recently returned to WWE as well, Freddie Prinze Jr. An entertaining segment.
It
Vince
was.
McMahon comes out of a coma, finds out Linda McMahon spent $60 million on the campaign, and that
$60 million.
John Cena is part of Nexus, and that Daniel Bryan is the United States champion.
How many glow sticks, DX glow sticks, is $60 million going to buy?
The more important question is how many Rey Mysterio masks will that buy? Now, keep in mind, they probably made, I think last month I read somewhere they made $130 million on Miz shirts.
On Miz Who shirts?
The Miz, Mike Mizanin.
Oh, I just said Miz.
Did you hear Riley call him Mike?
No.
Raw this past Monday night? It's not so good. The McMahons, your thoughts on that segment? It was clear its intention, but it was entertaining.
It was great because that's what was fun about wrestling, was those kind of skits they used to have. Just funny how $60 million brings up his heart rate and knocks him out of a coma. It would have put me in a coma.
Last time we saw Vince on TV, he was being taken out by Nexus.
Mhm.
So it made some sense, unless you've been to WWE.com, where Vince has been advocating that all of you stand up for WWE. Triple H's voice in bed with Stephanie McMahon, sort of funny and clever how they did that. But did you hear the pop? Just the mere thought, or once she started asking him questions.
Everybody was hoping that they'd pan over and you'd see
Absolutely.
Triple H in bed with her.
And how brilliant is it that they didn't?
Yeah, because they've teased it for so long. I mean, anyone that knows. While we're talking about Triple H, we're talking about knows. That's pretty funny.
N-O-S-E or K-N-O-W-S?
Both of them.
He knows about nose.
Yes, he knows.
Bo knows, too. Here's what I don't know or understand. R-Truth in the main event. I was all out of fast forward. I had to watch his entrance.
Wasn't it a week ago I said he's a world champion because he has Eve, and now he's in a headlining main event on Raw?
Oh, of course. Headlining main event, of course. Oh, absolutely it was a headlining main event.
That wasn't.
Why wouldn't it have
Whoa!
been?
That wasn't the
No,
match
not
that
in my
they
opinion.
promoted
Clearly it
the
was
entire
the
Raw?
Miz versus Big Show as the headlining match on Raw.
No,
Monday
it
night.
was
Clearly
not,
it was.
because all they talked
Not even
about
just
was
because
the
I'm a mark for
truth.
the Miz. Why are you crunked?
I'm not crunked.
Clearly you're crunked.
Okay, I'm uncrunked. Why are you so upset about that? You should be happy that they're pushing some other young guys.
Listen, let me say this clearly. R-Truth is an amazing talent. He's a very, very talented performer in the
He
ring.
can dance, too.
That's the problem I have.
You don't like how he dances?
The stereotypical presentation of him. And stereotypical
How is it
presentation.
stereotypical? What's he going to do, come
How
out
is
with a
it
cowboy
not?
hat?
And say he hates rap. Absolutely,
Yeah,
yes. he
sure.
should. That would be interesting.
Okay.
I have no desire to see him dancing and rapping towards the ring. Without that piece, I'd probably be fine. I was fine with him in TNA. I was fine with him when he was the NWA World Champion. I have no desire to see R-Truth.
But you had no
The time
problem.
to get
Hold
crunked.
on. But you had no problem with Jesse and Festus coming on as the Hillbillies.
I never stated an opinion on that matter on this program.
Mm-hmm. You never said you didn't like it.
I never
You
said I
didn't
did.
say that was stereotypical.
I don't think it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that is.
Wow, really?
I don't think it is.
That's terrible.
It's not. What's stereotypical about that?
Two hillbillies coming down with their overalls and biscuits and gravy?
This conversation could go a lot deeper. I'm going to go just cancel it right now.
Okay.
Because there's a difference there.
I don't see it.
Do you like biscuits and gravy?
I've had a couple.
Have you made biscuits and gravy?
No.
How
But
do you feel about Cracker Barrel's biscuits and gravy?
those are actually very good. Not as good as Waffle House.
Ah, yes.
What's good here?
That's the question. What did you think of WWE Raw overall this past Monday night? Did they go somewhere? Did they do what they needed to do? A lot of people saying this maybe should have been the pre-Survivor Series edition because of the story told between Wade
I
Barrett and
think
Cena
Pee Wee
at the end of the
Herman
night.
made Raw great. Brought out the best in everybody. I heard that everybody in the back was jacked that Pee Wee was in the Playhouse.
Pee Wee's an old school hero.
Yes.
He was around the same time that TV show you dressed up as last week was around, wasn't it?
No, he was on after that.
Was he?
Yeah.
Pee Wee is a pop icon. There's no doubt about it.
No pun intended.
Back to that again. Really? Man almighty.
It's Pee Wee Herman. How
I
can
thought
you
Raw
pass
was
that up?
I thought Raw was solid this past Monday night. It was a fun show. I think the longest match on the card again went to The Miz. Read into that as you so choose. David Hero, am really starting to be entertained by Michael Cole.
Do
Do you know why?
Because he knows what he's talking about.
Because of his quote on NXT on Tuesday.
Absolutely.
Right? Which we'll get into that later.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm enjoying him. He is obnoxious. He is solidly behind the people who he feels are the future of the company. I'm enjoying Michael Cole.
He kind of reminds him of yourself a little bit.
I was Cole before Cole was cool.
Yes, you were.
Like Shawn Michaels with DX before DX was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of X's, NXT this past Tuesday night.
You know what I
That's
noticed?
available
You know what?
online
You know what?
at WWE.com.
I can tell you're watching way too many Miz matches.
Why is that?
If we rewind the tape, you're sitting here going like this.
What is that supposed
You're
to
still
imply?
tapping.
I'm tapping and like I'm bopping my head to Mrs.
Okay.
theme song.
Okay.
Awesome. I came to play.
Yeah.
I understand that's Senior Intern Cal's favorite wrestling theme from WWE
Yeah, he
Music Volume
plays
10, huh?
that a lot.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. Thank God there's no Dashing Cody Rhodes theme song on there. Pal.
Apparently Cody has the magic though because he was popular with the Divas this past Tuesday night at NXT.
They felt he was safe.
Safer than Hornswoggle?
Well, absolutely.
Hornswoggle got a little bit of action too.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. It's horny.
Oksana digs for a little bit of gold, walks out on gold dust immediately following the nuptials presided over by, eventually, Ted DiBiase Sr.
Okay.
Here we
Here's
go.
once again how NXT is not reality. The fans' votes do not matter because that whole show is scripted.
Like American Idol?
Worse than American Idol.
American Idol's a work. I don't know if anybody knows out there. It's just, I've been there. I've seen it. I've not done that, but it
You
is
bought the T-shirt?
absolutely not. Nor have I ever voted via text or phone.
No.
You were about to explain
Yeah,
why
okay.
Maxine's elimination is a
Maxine,
bit unique.
the best talent in NXT,
Your pick for
My
the winner of
pick,
season 3.
and
Like Husky Harris was your pick last year.
Right, and Husky Harris. Okay, let's go my picks. Wade Barrett, winner.
Got one right.
Main event superstar. Husky Harris.
Main event superstar. He is. Go. Fine.
Whoa.
No, he is. Fine.
The
Go
last
right
3
ahead.
pay-per-views, who's been in the main event?
Nexus.
Wade Barrett.
With Nexus.
Fine, but still Wade Barrett. Husky Harris, 2nd place. He's headlining some matches. He's in some big matches with Nexus. Okay? Now we're at Maxine. A good-looking brunette that can work and talk and cut a promo. Now, I like Caitlyn, but she has been put in a position where the fans love her, and she's put in a position to succeed because she's with Vicky Guerrero. Okay? Oksana, they just did the whole angle with Goldust, so of course they had to keep
She
her
got what
around.
she needed. She
Absolutely.
may get what she deserves.
Yeah. So, of course, let's get rid of, as Michael Cole would say, the hot chick.
Sure. Great idea. Why wouldn't you get rid of the hottest chick on the program? That's
So,
what Michael Cole said.
Maxine's gone, but put it this way, I guarantee,
Like Justin Wilson?
yes,
She's Wilson?
she will be back and brought back in a great role, either on Raw or SmackDown.
Because eliminations don't matter on anything.
They don't matter at all. Look at how many have still gotten jobs out of it.
So why'd you pick a winner?
Because you asked me to. I was just playing your game.
Dusty Rhodes in the belly welly.
So you honestly don't think Maxine isn't the best one on NXT?
Oh, I didn't pick her. She's up there.
Of those last 4 or 5, you don't think she should have won?
No, I didn't pick her.
Take your pick aside and reevaluate the whole thing.
I think that she should have been at least in the top 2.
Yes. That's a victory for me right there. Absolutely.
Dusty Rhodes on
The Dweem.
on WWE NXT this past Tuesday night.
And Cody.
It was a fun show. We already talked about Cody. You know,
But-
he's a stud. He got all the girls.
Cody was at the wedding.
Remember, that's how he became dashing. Well, it's his
No,
brother getting married.
But still, it almost makes him a baby face. He's looking at Ted DiBiase like, hey, what are you doing? Like, what, you going to go fight Ted DiBiase now?
Why not? Brothers have spar match, fight each other every now and again.
I don't know. It's kind of funny. Dusty was against Dustin's first marriage, but he's for this one.
Oh woman, would you marry me now? Has NXT gotten better since going online is the question, actually. Because seemingly it has.
Oh, yeah. It's
The show we saw live a couple weeks ago here, taped in Milwaukee, was a good show, very entertaining.
Halloween costumes.
Tonight, or this past Tuesday's show was also very entertaining.
It's because they're getting down to the good talent that they have. They're weeding out the rest of it that doesn't belong there.
What do they do with Oksana now? Got that okay? Sure, her Goldust and her obviously.
You know what?
got a
She'll
little bit
probably
of-
wind up with DiBiase because God knows he needs something else to try to get him over.
Maurice isn't enough.
No, obviously.
Not even in Texas.
No, not even in. Well, in Texas, she's over big time. I mean, Best Buy goes through monitors every week. But,
Best Buy goes through monitors.
yeah, everyone's buying new TV screens, monitors. Not
Pee Wee
even-
Herman just bought a few new ones.
I'm sure he did. Can you imagine Pee Wee in the locker room? Oh my gosh.
Pee Wee Herman, you mean?
Yeah.
Is it not a foregone conclusion that he didn't go home alone that night?
Pee Wee?
Herman.
I don't know. Who do you think he left with?
I care not
Cody?
to speculate on that.
Well, they're pals.
TNA Impact is broadcasting after this show is being taped. However, we do know that the story is expected to be explained as to how the main event will take place because Mr. Anderson is concussed.
And Ken's not in good shape. He's not even going to be at the pay-per-view Sunday, nor will he be at the next 2 weeks' worth of TVs.
Wow. So, Mr. Anderson will make his return to the Impact Zone when I make my return to the Impact Zone on November 15th.
I think so, yes.
Fitting.
How does it make you feel?
Makes me feel very good. Maybe we can ride together.
I'm sure you guys could. He'll take you to catering. You can show him
I'm
around.
already in there. NXT, is it better?
Absolutely. Intern Cal thinks this NXT is the best of all 3. He wants to know how he can be involved in that one.
That's this week's Week in Review. Still to come, David, we're going to do the Be the Booker segment for this Sunday's TNA Turning Point pay-per-view.
BTB.
A big number of matches. We got the whiteboard sitting here in front of us. And
You know, Fox
this one's
News had a
gonna be fun.
whiteboard. How awesome was that? You're still not
I
feeling well.
no, I gave Fox News a chance on Tuesday night. I turned to it, and it was a black screen, and all it did was in white letters. It said, "We did it,"
No way.
and there was just applause
Stop
in the background.
that. Stop
That's
that.
what I saw. It's Fox News. That's what I saw. We did it.
You're too much.
Let's go to this week's 10 best.
Ten best WCW moments. It's been a culmination. The last 9 weeks, we've run down the 10 best moments in WCW history. It is time for number 1, but first, a reset. Number 10 in the WCW 10 best was Dean Malenko and Chris Jericho. The build-up between those two when Dean Malenko returned as some jack-o'-lantern guy and won the WCW Cruiserweight belt. Chris Jericho kept putting over Dean Malenko while Dean wasn't even on TV. It was an amazing build-up. And the pop that Dean Malenko got when he finally showed his face and beat the loving piss out of Chris Jericho. That was 10. Number 9 was Lex Luger debuting on the first ever WCW Monday Nitro. Number 8 was Bret Hart and Chris Benoit in their tribute match, which did not happen the day after Owen Hart passed away, but months later. Thank you for making sure I was alerted that I was wrong. Number 7, Hogan regains the belt after the dreaded finger poke of doom. And number 6, Flair Sting in the final match ever on WCW TV, real WCW TV, at Spring Break 2001. Number 5, April 10th, 2000, the New Blood relaunch on Monday Nitro with Eric Bischoff and Vince Russo working together for the first time. Number 4 is going to be the turn of Hulk Hogan. Yeah, I know, I got to keep looking at my notes over here. The heel turn of Hulk Hogan, 1996, July 6, 1996, at Bash at the Beach, and the formation of the New World Order. Number 3 is the Bash at the Beach 2000 with Vince Russo basically slamming Hulk Hogan for a good 10 minutes and profane at that, and giving the belt to Jeff Jarrett over Booker T. Number 2 was the famous line that we've used here on the TV show, "Fire me, I'm already fired." The reformation of the Horsemen, the Four Horsemen, and return of Ric Flair. Number 1, you've waited, and I've waited to say it, the best of the 10 best WCW moments of all time. Hogan, Goldberg, 1998, this summer, I believe, somewhere around July again. Don't quote me on it, because you'll put the date underneath, right under there. Hogan, Goldberg, the build-up had been that Goldberg was unstoppable. He had won the U.S. belt. And now he was going to challenge Hulk Hogan on free TV in the Georgia Dome. Hulk Hogan, Goldberg, winning the WCW Heavyweight Championship of the world. It is my best, my number 1, 10 best WCW moments of all time, because I, just like all of you, had a mark-out moment. Sitting in the bar at Raw Minds, watching it absolutely free. And you know what? All my wrestling friends around me, Raw was on the TV over on the side, but nobody cared. It was Hogan Goldberg for free. Now, was it the best business decision? No. That was a pay-per-view match. That was Starrcade right there. But it was great because it was an amazing match. Number 1, the 10 best, the best. Hogan, Goldberg, free TV. Goldberg beats Hogan for the belt.